Good evening, everybody. Happy Saturday. Welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. So, you guys know my husband is currently sitting with his ill father. So, I've got nothing better to do than to hang out with you guys. So, as you pop on, hit the like button, drop over in comments, tell me who you are, where you're from. We're fixing to jump into this. So, there was a governor's luncheon at the White House, and all the governors go. It's a big deal. And they're talking about Title IX and the changes that have been made to it. Of course, the number one change is that biological males cannot play in biological female sports. Now, folks, this is like super important because women are not made like men. Now, I know that the younger people have been brainwashed into believing that transgender people, for their mental health, have to be in female sports to feel like, well, to have their mental illness touched upon. Now, the sad thing about this is that everybody I knew growing up, we knew better than to engage with the males, right? Like at a certain point, at around the age of 11, 12, boys hit puberty and the playing field is no longer even. All right. Doesn't matter. Hey, Oregon. Hey, Lynn. It doesn't matter how many puberty blockers you take or body changes you do. You simply are no longer built like a female. Now, that's just basic biology. And I want to show you guys something. To begin with, this was a young man, and this was like a couple of years ago. Let me find it. This was a young man in Maine. This was, I think, in 2000, or maybe it was in 2024, but it says John tied fifth place in the boys' pole vault. But that was like 2 years ago when he competed as a male in high school. He placed fifth. When he competed as Katie, he won first. Same boy. Couldn't hang with the males. So what does he do? He cops out and pleads, I'm a female. I also found a recording on TikTok. I can't play it here. They've already demonetized me. They'll take my whole channel down. This young black girl had gone in to use the restroom at a public restroom in California. And while she's in there, a transgender male, I'm not going to call him a woman because he's not, comes in there and starts asking Siri a bunch of questions about having sex with underage people. And does California law allow it? Can the parents okay it? Would he go to jail if he did it? And this young girl is stuck. She's stuck in the bathroom stall and she's so scared because this mentally ill grown man thought he was alone in the restroom. Hammer, go lay down. Go lay down. He thinks he's got the run of the house because Daddy ain't here. So let you hear what happened today where Trump is concerned, and you guys tell me what you think. Oh, wait. Sorry.
State and federal laws.
Are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
We are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
See you in court.
Every state, good. I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor because I don't think you'll be in elected politics. Every state has a responsibility to comply with Title IX. They have an obligation, a legal obligation, and we'll be enforcing aggressively, and we're going to be protecting our citizens.
Okay, so he's correct.
Not going to comply with?
The majority of people in Maine do not want boys in girls' sports. Now, let's be honest. I think for the majority of Americans, even the Democrats, I'm not talking liberal folks, I'm talking Democrats, They do not want men in women's sports. They don't want men in women's restrooms. They don't want men in women's spaces. However, this video came out about this again is the same governor trying to fight him. Now I'm going to leave the volume off so they don't try to tell me they won't let it on. You know what she's dancing? This is Janet Mills at a Portland, Oregon. You ready for this? Drag show. That's the same governor. Yeah, that's her. Look at her. Just ridiculous. Why do old white liberal women look so ignorant? Hey, John, how are you? I mean, let's be honest. There is a Pew Research paper. I hope all of you go look it up when we're done with this live. That proves the number one demographic for mentally ill people in the United States is white liberal women. They're nasty. They're nasty.
Not going to comply with it? We are the federal law.
Okay, so let me remind you, he is correct.
The governor of Maine.
Let me get it closer for you guys.
She refuses to comply with the new executive order.
Sorry, Annette.
Men are not allowed to participate in women's sports. So she took to X with a clapback to the governor's luncheon exchange between he and she, and said that President Donald Trump was going to punish all of the children of Maine.
Deprive children of education.
Really doing the deprivation? Who's depriving the children of Maine? Is it Donald Trump or is it Governor Mills for explicitly and intentionally not complying with a presidential executive order? I think it's her. She's doing it intentionally, and she's sacrificing not just the children of Maine with federal funding, but all of her constituents in Maine. Women's sports is not about fake eyelashes, cute ponytails, and cute little outfits and femininity. It's just not. Female sports is about women and girls that are strong, that are competitive, that are athletic, and that are talented. And they make a lot of sacrifices, and they work really hard. It's not about being a girl at all. It's about playing a sport that you're passionate about.
Yes. And
having an even playing field. If you are a biological male and you want to play a sport, there is nothing stopping you from playing in that male sport. Nothing physically at all. So women's sports is not about femininity. When a female surgeon walks into an operating room, she's wearing the same surgical scrubs that her male surgical counterpart is wearing. There's no masculinity and femininity in the operating room. They're just there to perform a service. So again, I don't understand. To put a biological male in the field or on the court or in the pool with a biological female puts that female in an unsafe disadvantage. And that's not okay. So here's an easy fix. Create a transgender league, and then everyone is happy.
But she's missing the point. They won't be happy. That has already been proposed. Oh, thank you, Zia Zan. My daughter's in New Zealand, so I know how you feel having a child overseas. Good. I'm glad you made it, Shannon. So having transgender teams has already been proposed repeatedly. They don't want that. Let me tell you why. Transgender men are the biggest misogyny I've ever seen in my life. How dare you, a man, attempt to understand what it's like to be a woman? You will never have a period. You will never have natural breast. You will never be able to actually breastfeed your child. Now, I know there are those ones out there trying, but your body can't create the milk because you were never pregnant. You'll never birth a child. Now, I know what you're going to say. Somebody will. Well, some women can't have children. That's fine. You still got all the work in order. Everything's still there, baby. Transgenders wanting to be in a women's sport is a man who couldn't cut it as a man, because the majority of them call themselves lesbian transgenders. What does that mean? That means you're a man that's attracted to women, but you were never good enough to be in men's sports, so you're in women's sports. I think they're weak. Hammer, what are you chewing on? Stop, Hammy. Stop, Hammer. Stop chewing on that. Talking about oral fixations. My German Shepherd loves to nibble on things, and he eats holes in all the bedding. Crazy.
I know words. I have the best words. But there's no better word than stupid. It's the level of stupidity is incredible.
I agree. I agree.
You know you're doing something right when your video gets slowed down purposefully. This is Janet Mills. She is Maine's governor. She is a piece of shit. And she just got in an argument with Donald Trump live in a press conference, to which she said she will see Donald Trump in court because she wants men to still play in NCAA sports with women. Janet Mills, you are a piece of shit. Guess what, TikTok? She has her own official TikTok. Isn't that nice? Let's make her famous.
Okay. Let's also talk about this. Fighting Donald Trump in court. Is it worth it? Y'all, the man has had 4 years to prepare. Blessing that he lost were about open border. Hey, can you guys see me? If anybody can see me, type yes. All right. Well, yep, I'm buffering. They do it to me every time, Miss Annette. All right, guys, that's the end of our party tonight. Wait, you can see me, Sherry? Oh, y'all can see me? What? Thank you so much, G Bear. I was fixing to get off. Oh, I'm so excited. That's never happened. Once they buffer me, they never let me back on. Bam! Jesus is so good. What? Okay, so let me get this out quick before they cut it off. All right. So let me explain this to you guys. When Trump got, it's stolen 4 years, they have spent 4 years putting together their administrative team, preparing all of their legal documents. Let me tell you something, Miller. You just cut off funding for your entire state. Can they do it? Yes. Do you guys know why drinking across America is 21 years old? Because this is what happened. Drunk drivers, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, MAD, decided 18 was too young. They got the federal government to back them up. And do you know what the federal government did? If your state did not toe the line and set drinking age at 21, they would not give your state any funding for roads and highways in your state. The last 2 states to cave, Louisiana and Florida, but they both caved. So, okay, California and Maine want to hinder on it. I hope you lose so much fun. Guys, listen to me. We cannot allow Satan to steal our joy. God has a plan. I will pray, Shannon. She said, please pray for my nephew. He went from believing he was gay to transgender. He's distanced himself from the family. I did a TikTok today and I said, why can't we normalize butch females, feminine males, and just gay? Why? Why do they have to be transgender? It's so they can be mutilated. It's a demonic spirit. Guys, listen, I love y'all. The weather's starting to get bad. They're not going to let me keep talking about this. Do you want to support our channel? I'll link it in at the top of comments after I get off, please send at least $1. They stole my money when I woke up this morning. Hit the like button. Make sure you share this. We're going to make this governor so famous, she never holds an official office again. We've got to get these radical liberals out of there. It doesn't matter if she's Democrat or Republican. That's a liberal mindset. This is how they're going to basically turn us into, everybody talks about that show where they wear the outfits and it's, what's it called? Anyway, I'll think of it in a minute. But they take women's rights and they force The Handmaid. All these liberals, oh, Trump's turning us into The Handmaid. No, you guys are. It's so bad now that America and European countries are so unsafe for women, we can't go out without our husbands. Now you want to make sports so dangerous for our little girls, we can't let them play. And you want to give men scholarships for women. You don't see women playing in men's sports very much. And I remember when they started that crap in the 90s, and everybody's like, oh, if she wants to, girl power, let her. And I knew it was going to happen. Girls have no place playing in boys sports, and boys have no place in girl sports. When I brought my baby to Seattle, put her in school because that was the only school she could go to for her degree. And they asked about who she wanted for a roommate. I didn't have to make her. She wrote it. I want a genetic female. I know she probably pissed them all off, but that's okay. You have a right to be safe, girls. If there's any young women that ever see this, please hear me. You better defend your spaces now, baby, before they take them all away from you. I totally agree, Eric. Trans is just another term for sociopathic. It's disgusting. And I don't care if YouTube gets mad at me. By the way, go follow me on my second YouTube channel, Life with Sam in Louisiana. I don't post there very much, but it's my backup channel. So I love you guys. Be safe. Pray. Pray that Maine's governor basically gets run out of office by her constituents because majority of them being Democrats, they don't want boys and girls sports. People aren't stupid. Only these young people that have been brainwashed. They'll tell you Trump is going to take their rights. Rights from what? What are we taking from you? But the liberals have literally been chiseling away at women's rights for years. They are the party of slavery, and we're never going to let the next generation forget. Love you guys. Good night.